JSquared in consulting, bananas in disguise. We'll systemize and strategize and help your profits rise.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, J1?
I think I am, J2.
Welcome, James. How are you?
Good, mate. Good to be back.
Yeah, I'm living the dream. The postman's just arrived and he's got me this nice package of useless shit that I don't need. Like, why did I buy a banana slicer?
Why did you buy a banana slicer?
I don't know, because it was 50 cents. It was free.
Where'd you buy it?
Temu.
The amount of useless crap that is constantly being bought, like non-stop, is insane from Temu. I see their ads like every single day in my feed. They're crushing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, those ads are made. I would love to see the budget that they put on marketing. Because in that marketing, like, they're including like the free gifts, all the shipping, handling, postage, in which they're getting it to you. That's all part of their marketing budget. I think the plan is just to take market share, get people buying shit for cheap that they don't need, so that they continue to be a customer.
If you have an unlimited budget in order to scale your business, like Temu is pulling out every single stop. You know, I love marketing, so I just went through and looked at it like the whole way through, like every single thing from their branding, from their ads, like their direct response. They're like fully focused on direct response, and you go through and like the whole experience of it is just like amazing if you have unlimited dollars. Like whenever I look at these companies, I'm always like, what can I take away from them? There's a bunch of stuff we can take away, but just like their ability to do every single thing and just undercut is insane. Like the amount of money they have. I actually looked it up, ahead of this episode. You know that they're burning an estimated. This was, I think it was HSBC or one of the big banks was estimating that they were burning $1.2 to $2 billion a year, losing just on this, like on giving out. You know, on all the marketing, that was just on the products, because they give you free products and they go and discount everything so that they're loss leading. Like, it's absolutely insane. Oh, and by the way, for anyone who's listening that doesn't know what Temu is like, how would you describe it? It's like Amazon, but way cheaper and shittier and more Chinese.
I would say it's like, you know, you make the joke, it's like, is this guy off Wish.com?
Yeah.
It's Wish from Wish.com.
Yeah. What do they call it? They called like Peter Dutton in the election. They called him Temu Trump.
Well,
it's like, that's gonna stick. How do you get rid of that?
Yeah, mate, you do some woke shit. That'll do it.
Yeah, totally.
He could release a list that might. Yeah. Maybe we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah. We won't get political today.
It's like Wish. If Wish was on TikTok, and it was your sugar daddy. That's what it is.
Yeah, totally. It's just like cheap, underpriced crap that you really don't need. I've been tempted a few times. I haven't bought anything from Temu just out of principle.
Yeah.
And I'll go into a sec why I can't stand it so much, but I have been tempted plenty of times to go on there and just buy something, because it is like all the stuff they have there is so ridiculous cheap, and they have everything. Like, they have the biggest selection at the lowest prices, and like all their shipping and whatnot's amazing too. It's unreal.
Yeah. It's like if you looked into the dollar store, right? Except the quality is lower. And like the middle aisle of Aldi, you never know what you're gonna get.
But like in the dollar store, like you grab random knickknacks and stuff like that. This Temu is like every single shop in the whole shopping plaza, mall, whatever you've got. Every single thing is all there, and you walk into the store. Like, this is what they do. Like, you go on their website or their app. If you go onto the website and they get you to go and spin the wheel, right? First of all, when you go on there, and every time you go on there, you get something free. Yeah. Imagine walking to every single shop and they offer you something for free. And then after that, they give you every single discount so that you download their app. And then when you're on their app, everything is like dirt cheap, ridiculously discounted, the whole lot. And the customer experience is great, like really great. I went through it, didn't buy anything, but I went through it. Um, it's like the whole shopping mall is just ridiculously cheap, totally discounted, and is actually quite an amazing experience at the same time.
Yeah, it's fully gamified to, just push on those dopamine receptors. Yeah, it's like, I mean, just the range of shit. Like, if you need a dinosaur lamp, they've got it. If you need a slave Uyghur, they've got it. If
They've
you
got a few million of those.
yeah, if you need a
Plenty in stock. And you know what, mate? I don't think they're going out of stock anytime soon.
mate, they've got butt plugs to banana slices. It's
Oh, if I knew that butt plugs, I would have bought some. Anyway.
well, if you knew they'd be out of stock. Yeah.
Like, you know what I hate about Temu, right? Like I love business. Like I view business as like a sport. Like it's the ultimate sport.
Yeah.
And I do not view like government interruption and government like intervention as being a true part of business or sport. Like it is, but I hate it. The reason why I've never bought anything off Temu, sorry, and I've been so hesitant to do anything is it's totally sponsored by the Chinese Communist Party, and they have just got a shitload of money being pumped into them all the time so that they can undercut every single seller so that nobody can compete. So the CCP, not a lot of people know this, but the CCP give out loans at ridiculously low interest rates to any companies that they want to back. So they've gone and they've chosen, like as part of their, what was it? I think their 50-year or their 100-year plan. The Chinese government actually plans well. You look at our politicians over here, they plan for 4 years. The Chinese government's planning for 100 years. And so they selected like their 10 most dominant industries, the industries that they want to crush. And they went and supported the crap out of them. They give them land deals. They go and give them tax breaks. They give them access to all these cheap loans. Like in China, all the banks are not private. They're all government owned. Yeah. So if the government tells them they want to do something, like they want to focus on something, or they want to give somebody a loan, they just go and do it. They give them like a ridiculously cheap rate loan, like a 1% or less interest rate. But probably some of them are probably interest free. So they could go out, get $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion, $10 billion of capital like that.
Yeah.
Like straight away. And then they just come in, they use that money to undercut over here. They go on they go and buy up all the stock, as much stock as they can over there, which is going to make it harder for our suppliers to get. And then after that, just dump it on the market, which means that nobody locally in Australia or wherever accepts Temu can compete because all the customers don't think about, hey, the CCP is fucking you. All they're going to do is drive these prices down, drive as many people out of business as possible, collect market share, and then slowly start bumping the prices up again.
Yeah, well, it's more so to collect market share outside of China. But like the best thing, like the weighted average cost of capital is so low, right? Which means that your interest repayments, you can afford to scale. You can afford to get backers, right? And let's say it doesn't work out. Like after getting all this money, you don't do a good job, you get a free holiday. Thanks to Xi Jinping. How good is that? Like
where you get re-educated.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a holiday.
A permanent holiday doing hard labor. That's the other thing. Like, this is why I don't like buying Chinese. So a couple of years ago, when I started getting into it, this is when the stuff about the Uyghurs came out, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up. Like that I don't know if the Uyghurs did anything wrong. I'm not going to say anything about it, but just the fact that they're putting a whole, I think they're a race, religion of people, a whole section of society is going and being, detained and then put into making solar panels and all that sort of stuff. I thought that's really gross. Like that's really, really gross. I can't go on. I tried to get away from buying anything Chinese, but like the whole world supply chain goes through China. It's literally impossible to do if you want to live, a somewhat modern life like I'm doing. If I wanted to go full off grid, then yeah, I could, But I just think like it's so fucked up the way that they act. The number one, I won't moral grandstand for too long, but number one, the use of slave labor is so bad. The conditions that their workers are so bad, and they heap all this shit onto these poor people. They literally ruin their lives, give them the most appalling lives, and then out of that just capitalize it and use it just to tank other countries' good industries, which are, actually performing well, functioning well, look after your workers, etc., etc. It's crazy. Hate buying from China.
Look, as the Australian Navy doesn't have its submarines yet, and there's drills happening off the coast. I just want to say, Mr. Ping, allegedly, and no, you're doing a great job. I agree with great business, very good business. This is the way to do
Bending the knee, mate. I'm disappointed.
it.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I'll go down fighting. But
but
I
money
get like,
to
look, I respect China and how smart they are as a whole. Like they are so smart. They're so much smarter than us. They do everything so much better than us. But I just think their morals and ethics are just, I cannot align with it whatsoever.
I wouldn't say smarter. I would say because of the constellation of power, it's aligned where everyone
Totally.
has the same goal. They're planning for like a long-term future and are able to take action on a long-term future. Whereas in like particularly in Australian politics, the way that we operate, you got 3 years. If you're lucky, you get re-elected.
Totally.
Where you have to make decisions based on the current cycle so that you're not thrown out of power, which leaves long-term planning and allows shit to hit the fan quickly and not recover. And because you're trying to keep power, politicians are actively putting things in place to make the next one look bad, so that if they do get kicked out, they can get reelected. Right?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane what they do in those 4-year election cycles. Like I get why we need to. Anyway, we won't go into the political side. We'll go back to the Temu side. It's like I can't stand it as a business, but geez, you got to respect it, right? Their ability to get those loans thanks to the CCP, where they can just put everything at the lowest cost. Like if you think of like what does a customer want? The biggest desire of a customer who buys mainstream, who just buys regular shit, right? They just want low prices, and that's all Temu does. They have the lowest possible operating expenses. They've got like slave labor. They've got labor which is paid, but it's pretty much slave labor as well. Everything is financed at ridiculously cheap rates. They've already got all the infrastructure there. They already have the lowest prices. They can make those low prices by selling them even lower at a loss. I mean, you drive the price down for the customers. Everyone flocks it there. They've got the gamification is amazing. Like going onto that app, every time you go and win something, that's just, as you said, a little dopamine burst going over and over and over. Look at the ads. The ads are brilliant as well. Have you ever seen one of Temu's ads before?
Yeah. I've seen them. They're super interesting. Like I get all the ones where it's just like like those sort of kind of Chinese ads where like the boss is walking past and the lady yells at him going, "You lied to me. You told me I'd get this free." And he's like, "No, you have to download this app, press this button." And then she's got the gift. She's like, "Yeah, I got it for free." But
I'm gonna bring up the ads library and we'll go through and take a look at it because I think it's worthwhile doing because the ads are actually legit and how they they're a Chinese company but they've got a great Australian ad agency. Let me have a look here. Shop Temu.
One thing I would say about ads is I sometimes like, depending on what I'm seeing them on, will get the recommended items. And I have no idea how they are getting that algorithm, but some of the shit that pops up on, maybe there's like a method behind it, or maybe there isn't. Or maybe it's just like bad targeting. I have seen ads as you scroll through because I like to look at them just to see what's there because like I find like I'm kind of dumb. Like if I see something ridiculous, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna buy that because it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's
like your banana slicer.
yeah, I don't actually have a banana slicer.
Not yet.
Well, maybe I will if if you're listening. Put the ads up and I'll say well played and check it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the random stuff. It's like there is no way I've ever even Googled this, nor anyone in my vicinity would be looking this up as to why you thought you would target it to me. So it's interesting in that respect.
Let me bring it up here. I'm gonna share screen. Let me see. Can you see this? Is it sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like look at all the ads. You look at the way they've done it. They have like from like a marketer's perspective, going and looking at this. You first of all look at the variety in their copy. So you look at the number of ads. They've got 1,600 ads running at the moment. Like they are spending some serious cash just in Australia, right? Just in Australia. Like if I shifted this to worldwide, it would, there'd be thousands, tens of thousands of ads.
Yeah.
And you look at like the content that they've got. I'm not sure if this will work.
Yeah,
Yep.
just
Chucking
no.
it. So like you look at the format of it, right? So this format of ad, which is like, user-generated content styles, crushing it at the moment, doing
Yeah.
super well in the ads. And they're up to date like on all the trends, like everything there. So like their marketing agency is awesome, whoever that is, shout out to them. But you look at what they're testing short copy, they're testing medium copy, they're testing hashtags over here. I don't know if hashtags even work, maybe they do, probably do. They've still got a Black Friday sale going on, like still running that.
I mean, every day's Black Friday for them. Just like, you want negative 100% off? Here, we'll give you
Literally,
it. All right?
literally. I wonder what their Black Friday sales are actually like. So who's this?
They
Charleston.
said what it cost.
Look at all. Hey, bro, this is what we're looking for. Something for you.
I look better in that dress. I've got one.
Like, are you looking at these things? What are they doing? They're partnering with people as well.
Yeah.
So they're going in. I'm not sure they're partnering or how this works because some of these profiles look kind of fake. But like they are like hammering the ads. You see they're actually going a lot of short copy in here. Lots of video, like a high amount of video. Like it must be probably 60-70% of everything is videos. And then, yeah, they're doing this thing here where they've got like other different like influencers, or I'm not if they're influencers or what they are, but like getting them to run the ads, or like Temu's running the ads through their page. So there's something interesting on there. But like they have like all these ads, and you look at each of them, they're like all of them are following like the same sort of trends, like EGC, UGC, or mostly UGC content in there.
I imagine they've got some pretty heavy affiliate programs and they're subsidizing the marketing for the affiliates. Yeah. I
They'll be
mean,
doing everything.
yeah.
They'll be
So,
doing everything. They probably approached a bunch of pages and just like, hey, can you put our stuff up, promote this ad, and pay them a couple $100. I used to get offered that all the time. Spend, they'd often pay me $500,000 a week just to let them run ads from my ad account.
yeah, okay.
Or for using my page. Yeah.
What type of companies?
What was that?
What type of companies?
Mostly scam ones. Like it was this was in the Wild West days of Facebook. This is back, 7 to 10 years ago. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of like business coaching ones, a lot of like other fitness ones, those sorts of things, and some e-commerce.
Yeah, back when Zuck had balls, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay. It's like, I mean, I think like with knowledge, everything's like super cheap, right? But the question is, who pays for that? How does that get paid for? One, losing bulk cash with the long-term future. That all gets repaid once you've got market share because, all of the studies and statistics, once you get in bed with a site and it becomes your regular go-to, most people will have loyalty to it. Like if you're a Kmart Big W, people tend to provide one over the other. Bunnings, home, is it home? I don't know. They don't sell sausages. I've never been. Like once you get that loyalty, people tend to stay. So they know that if people start buying, it's going to take away market share from your Amazons, Wish,
Totally.
etc. And
Once you got that app, once you download that app, that's the first place you go to.
Stuck, right? And that's where it at. So, but they are losing that much money. It has to come at a cost, right? So there's two things that are particularly where they come under fire, and that's one is we sort of touched on is that modern slavery act. So if they can do things super cheap, they're going to retain margins better. And there's been a lot of questions asked off that supply chain. And two is the potential issues with data.
Yeah, just on that, let's look at the first one. We'll come back to data in a sec. But like with that, how much do you think people really care about the slavery thing? Like,
yeah. So I think people do care, right? I think the majority of people genuinely care, to a point.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a now. How do we go through this? There, people will, particularly in like younger generations, people are happy to pay more if they know that something is like organic, if they are healthy, or if they know that it's doing good, right? It's just the way the world is beginning to go. Now, that comes at a cost until the point that they no longer believe that that goodness justifies the extra which they're paying. So it's always a cost, right? So if you're going to pay $1 for a shirt on Temu, people are probably happy to pay 10 or $15 for the same shirt, knowing that somebody isn't getting railed in order to produce it and it's coming from a good source and it's similar quality. As soon as that gets up to $30 or $40, they're like, you know what, I'm just going to go with the cheap option. At that point, cost of living, I can't afford to live, I can't make these decisions. And that's where the ethical dilemma comes in. It's like, how much am I willing to accept the world that I want it to be until it starts hurting my wallet, right?
I
And
reckon
that's
it's like it's a final line. I think there's a lot of people, and actually, you make a good point, right? And then, like when it starts affecting your cost of living, it depends where you are on that cost of living status.
yeah,
In there, I mean, there's a lot of people in Australia, and we're a rich country. There's a lot of people in Australia who would say that they're struggling, week to week, and it's really, really tight. And I would say that it's probably, over 50% of the population in Australia who would feel that way. So that's just like there in Australia. That means half of Australia is going to potentially preferentially buy Temu. I think we care about other people. I think we care about other people, the environment, and all that sort of stuff, as long as it's convenient for us to do so.
yeah,
When it becomes too inconvenient, we all of a sudden stop caring
yeah.
so much.
Also, if it was thrown in our faces a lot more, that would change. All right. Let's just say if there was if the if the government mandated that the tags of their clothes come with the same warning logos that cigarettes do. Like people probably aren't buying dollar shirts anymore.
Dude, I don't think that the warnings did that much for cigarettes. I think the price is the one that did most. Price and then not being able to smoke socially. I know it's on a side tangent, but you reckon it's going to impact it that much? Like having a label on there saying this, causes slave labor. I remember
No,
I
probably not.
remember I had a few mates that used this cause. This is from slave labor, sorry. But I had a few mates who used to smoke, and and remember when Barry, the dude with AIDS, I think it was on the cigarette packet. Do you remember that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember, bro?
I played footy with the dude, spit an image of him. Yeah, bad luck, mate. Yeah, yeah.
Pre-AIDS or post-AIDS?
Oh, both.
Yeah,
Jury catching it.
bro, I remember all the boys used to, I can't remember what they would say, but they'd talk shit about Barrows like, this is where
Yeah.
I'm going to be in a few years, you know what I mean? Like, and none of them stopped smoking because of that. I mean, remember the guys that did stop smoking, they stopped smoking because, it got way too expensive or they couldn't smoke socially. You know what I mean? I think the same thing's going to be for the slave labor. Like, you can whack it on a label, but
Yeah,
like until you actually tax it, or make it like social, like there's a social stigma around it.
yeah,
That's what crushes it.
totally. But okay, let's sort of break that down, right? Because I agree with you. It's not going to stop people smoking when you're already addicted to it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm addicted to buying shirts and I see shirts I like, I'm gonna buy it, right? No matter what. Like I gotta
Oh,
get an itchy. I need that shirt, right? The point of that was not to have people stop smoking. It was to dissuade new people from starting,
mm.
right? So let's just say you're a 13-year-old and cigarettes are expensive and you see fucking Barry going, oh man, I don't want to be like Barry. And you don't understand it puts that fear into you and it maybe and they did a lot of research on this. It helped people make that conscious decision not to start in the first place.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Right? But 100%, the taxation was what killed it. And funnily enough, like I've had conversations from people in the smoking industry, and that's not what it was the same as alcohol, right? I spent a lot of time with some people very, very high up in that world, doing some mentoring stuff. The the tax increases on cigarettes and alcohol absolutely allowed those companies to crush it, right? Because what they did is if the government put like the tariffs and taxes on those things, the cigarette and alcohol companies pushed the prices up far more proportionally than what the government did, right? Because all of a sudden the general population know that they're going to be taxed more on.
So they're ready to pay more for
So
that.
they pumped the prices up, but the general population, in their head, they are blaming the government, not the manufacturer. So if the government puts on a tariff or a 2% tax, the alcohol companies were putting it up 20%, right? Because all the sentiment went towards the government saying, oh, you increased the prices 20%. It's like, nah, they increased it by 2%. These dickheads just got greedy.
Man, it's so funny how often like the government would do something, the
Yeah.
government will do something, and like the opposite effect occurs. Like, well, that's always one I always look at. It's like, what should the role of government be in business? Like, do you think the government has any reason why they should have a right to go and put an extra tax on cigarettes or alcohol, or do you think they should be just stay out of it and let
Uh,
people make up their own minds?
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, this is a debate, right? It's how much freedom is too much freedom, right? Like, look at seatbelts in cars, you
Mm.
know? Um, do I want the freedom not to use a seatbelt? Yeah, sure. Would I still use one even if I didn't have to? Probably because it's good for you,
Mm.
right? You know, I got to buy a helmet now if I have a kid who wants to ride his bike. Should he? Yeah, he should. So, like, I think, like, the reality is in a society, there is fucking dumb cunts. And if what I hate with it is that you have to cater to the dumbest of the dumb and bring everyone down to the lowest common denominator. I think it should be done upwards. In saying that though, like if governments, don't step in and put policy in place, they are looking at things like, do they care about your health? Probably not when they're making decisions. What they care about is the finance of it, right? So let's just say smoking is at an all-time high. We know that it's killing people early, or at least getting people disabled early. Look at that from like a budgetary point of view of a government, right? So now all of a sudden you have all these people in 30 years that are going to have to go on to retirement benefits. They're going to have to go on, push up the Medicare. So what is cheaper for the government? Tax these things, get people to stop doing it so that people genuinely have longer health over a longer period of time and it costs them less.
Mm.
So these are financial decisions based on a budget, and when they have enough information and there's enough public pressure and backlash, they have to act to keep in power. But they also have to keep in mind that long term, it's like, well, can we keep kicking this can down the road? Now, would you can't answer this question? Would society be better if governments took away everything that was self-destructive? Don't know. Would it
Mm.
probably just make people weak?
Yeah, you just find other things though. Like humans have a knack for that, Ban
Yeah,
alcohol over in the States and, you create Al Capone. You go and, ban cocaine and you've got Pablo Escobar and whatnot. Humans always find a way.
yeah, yeah. People are gonna buy their Temu shirts no matter what,
Mm, mm.
whether it's off the back of a truck or it's from the store. It's just it's yeah. I agree. So like the question is, don't know.
Yeah.
Like who knows?
I think like I can see Timo like looping back around to it.
Yeah,
I can see Timo is just going to keep on growing, keep on growing. I don't think that I look maybe there's just a lot of people, a lot of guys are just not aware that there is a shitload of slave labor and terrible like practices in there. But I also think that like when you're like this little bit disconnected, you just stop caring. Like you look on social media. I've seen some people like say stuff about me on social media and I will see them in real life and they will literally look the other way. Someone will go and shit talk me or call me out or something like that, like real burly and tough. And then see in real life, it's like, oh, you're a pussy. Like that's embarrassing for you that
yeah,
you are so soft. And you see how many fights people try and pick with imaginary people, like just on social media. And now they're like, let's go and put that. That's just with an Australian, maybe someone who lives within your own town, your own city or something like that. They're willing to do that way. They just feel like the repercussion, the reality isn't there. It's all make believe. You go and put that into some poor bastard over out in Shenzhen in China. And it's
Yeah.
like all of a sudden that is so far removed. Like not only do you not see that person interact with them anything, they're a different nationality, yada, yada, yada. It's like there's just no care there, in my opinion, from what I've seen. There's just no care when they become that far removed.
Yeah, it's funny, like, I mean, if you look at like a lot of like third world countries where they do see that, do they still care? Not really, or do they just adapt to like this is what life is? It's shit. People die every day, so I'll look after myself. You know, it's man, it's I imagine that people sitting on both sides of the world sit there and go, those guys on the other side, the grass is greener, and it would
Yeah.
work better that way. And the reality is, it's probably not. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I tend not to spend too much time in uh, places where that is common. It's not fun.
Totally. I'm tending to avoid it. I mean, like we obviously I hire a bunch of Filipinos, and I look at, and going off to your points, like, do those people care? I look at how the Filipinos treat each other, like the managers to employees. It's horrible. Like, I'm not going to say all the time, but a lot of the time, our guys will come in and they were like, I had one of my employees the other day. He's like, so James, how do I take a rest? I'm like, what do you mean, Julius? Like, take a rest? Like, fuck, go to sleep. I don't care. Like, whatever. And he said, no, like I've been working really hard. Like, how do I take leave? I'm like, dude, you've got annual leave built into your contract. Take it whenever you want. Just let me
Yeah,
know. But
tell
he's used to like, yeah, tell me. I don't care. Like, go have your leave. Have a rest. You need to go out and do stuff with your kids. Fine, do it. Whatever. And but I talked to him about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I used to not get any days off. And then I found out that if they have a public holiday, they would have to take it as unpaid over there. So they got, like 12, 14 public holidays a year. They take it as unpaid leave. It's like
yeah,
insane how well, people who are in, not wealthy countries, developing countries would shit on each other and not treat them well. They come over and Filipinos come work for an Australian company like for us. And all of a sudden they think it's the best thing ever because they get paid. We pay them double, triple what they get paid over there. They get amazing leave entitlements. Like we train them, upskill them, value them, treat them nicely. It's totally different.
yeah. Because I mean, I've had conversations with people. My wife is from the Philippines. She came here when she was 7, and I've heard stories of like things that even like family members do to each other that you wouldn't do to your hated enemy. And it's like the whole justification is like, yeah, but everyone does that to you here, so you have to do it to other people to protect yourself, and that just creates a void of like vicious cycle that it's difficult to get out of, right?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
But Temu, if they won some shit, got a couple of best awards and various things. I don't know what I read
But
it.
not for product quality.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I'd be actually curious if anyone's listening to this has actually bought stuff off Temu. Is it any good? Like, is it actually decent or is it just, absolute crap?
well, I mean, I'm sure you could find good stuff if you're looking for it, right? But I mean, like, I'm gonna go through like talk through some of those. Let's go through some of the pictures. We'll put them up. We'll edit them in. And I'll just share screen. It's probably even easier.
Yeah, do it.
Screen am I sharing?
Man, like, the other thing about Temu is like, when you download that app, you're going to be looking at stuff. Like, they're going to be finding you. They're going to be tracking you. Like, every time you interact with anything the CCP has done, like CCP's owned, any Chinese-owned companies, it's not going to work out
Yeah,
in
yeah,
your best interests.
absolutely. Like we just got flagged for detention if we ever go over there. Um, like, I mean, look at these shoes. It's like you wanna break a record on your marathon, but you don't want to get too hot.
Dude, I actually think you'd look great in them.
Oh yeah, nah, just
I've seen you walking in a pair of heels before.
yeah, nail it, mate. I could slut chop. I got real good at in heels when I was younger because I always thought it was a really good way to pick up girls because I would bet them that I could like get lower and walk better in heels than they could.
And it
Always,
worked.
oh mate, they're always curious until they think you're gay. But other than that,
That gets you even closer. Have you seen that? Pedro Pascal. You talked about him a couple of weeks ago. He's the
I-
guy in everything. Have you seen all his like groping stuff he's doing with these chicks when he gets anxious?
he's just got anxiety.
Bro, I get anxious and grab chicks' boobs too. Like, I get it.
Look, he has anxiety, except for all the occasions when he's working with male or ugly.
Just
Actually,
purely
yeah.
very attractive females.
He might actually I wouldn't be surprised if he was swinging that way. No judgment, but I
Yeah.
get those vibes. I mean, look at this. You can buy teeth. What do you just
It's the Uyghurs showing up again. Keep costs low.
$4, right, for teeth?
Yeah.
Probably human.
That would be very high quality.
Look at this.
Nutrient deprived, but yes.
It's a butt scratcher for your.
Is it actually?
I don't know. It looks like it. It's a prostate examiner. 90% off though, so why not? Can't take a bargain. But you ever wanted to take your hamster for a walk? You can with Temu.
That's crazy.
Yes,
Who buys this shit? Who made it? Obviously people buy it if it's being made.
I don't know who invents it. Like this one. Yeah. Hey, you want a muscle training? Come around to my house on a Thursday. Like, be more beautiful.
We'll need to get that for a few of the boys.
It's
I
fun.
like that.
Mate, if we let's get back in like for gym.
Oh
let's
yeah, the sweatsuit.
Literally a sweatsuit.
That's pretty sweet.
Jack
That's
up.
actually good. I know a few guys have used them to like cut weight. They actually work.
Yeah. When you're trying to dehydrate yourself right before comp, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
See guys running around in them. That's a good product. Shout out Temu. Well done.
This one reminds me of you remember Jackass?
Yeah, when they drank Preston Sweat.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, this is so filthy.
Spider-Man with the booty.
That actually looks like a better version of Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then I've got what's the last one? Oh no, that was the last one.
That's it.
There's some dumb shit. So I guess the question of the audience, like, what's the dumbest shit you ever bought? From Temu or somewhere else, or something that you've got and you're not proud of. Because you know what I look at it like? It's that top drawer. All right, it's your junk drawer. Everyone's got that drawer at home, whether it's in the kitchen or it's in the garage, where it's like you don't know where to put shit. Like you get something, you don't know what to do with it, so you just put it in that one drawer, and that one drawer is full of like all the random shit that you didn't know where to put. That's what Temu is. It's the random drawer of the internet.
Yeah, literally. I look at my desk, all the random shit. My desk is my random drawer. Like, look at this. I have a infuser that's made out of, I don't know what that is, but I think it's meant to be like a Banksia. So yeah. I totally get what you mean.
I've got a handle for something, some super glue, and some drill bits. Yeah, don't ask. I don't know.
You come up with something cool for that. But man, look, I'm not a fan of Temu. I know I made that perfectly here, but geez, what a great business. Like out of that, if there's I don't think there's anyone in the world that knows a customer better than Temu. Like the way that they market, the way that they have positioned their whole company is literally for the customer's benefit. Not for the world's benefit, but in terms of buying that stuff, amazing. Absolutely amazing.
How do you reckon they did their customer segments? Just go, all right, let's target the biggest fucking idiots that'll waste their money and throw ads at them.
I like how we're asking people like 2 minutes ago just to go and, list up all the stuff that you bought off them and now calling them fucking idiots afterwards.
Okay, so for the guys that I just asked, tell me you don't pick that thing up and then go, yeah, I'm not a
fucking idiot.
Come on, like someone also knows their audience because that audience is me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think like if there's one lesson, we're going to take it back to business. What I think is the best thing is that they have developed a strategy for the long run and they're happy to lose, knowing that it's going to pay off and that ROI is going to be huge if they hit all the goals and the rest of the world doesn't say, hey, like TikTok, you're out. You know?
That is such man, that is such a good point and it's such a good takeaway. It's developing a long-term strategy where you're okay with potentially losing money in the short term to make it big in the long term. I see like so many business. I mean, even a lot of the guys that we all work with and we've worked with over the years. There's this big fear as a business owner to actually take a loss at the start to actually build something greater. We're constantly focused on just this next one thing, when in fact, if you plan for a year, if you actually sat down, did a big strategy session, planned where you wanted to get to for the next year, you'd be way further off. I mean, we were talking about this earlier today. We're going to hire a biz dev rep
Yeah.
to come and help us, scale up. And it's like, well, in order to get this biz dev rep, how much are we willing to lose and burn in the case that it doesn't work out? Like we're looking for someone to just go and do referrals for us, like go out and find, different referral partners amongst different coaching, sales and marketing communities. That's where our customers normally lie, and just go and get us into those communities so that we can present for them. And we're like, what's the upside on that if we nail it versus what's the downside on that if we lose it? If we lose like, 20, 30 grand, who gives a shit? Like we'll just keep on going.
It's like I think what I said was to that was like, well, how much would you be happy to lose on ads to find a winning ad set? I go, because
Totally.
it's the same, right? To be honest, I'd be rapt uh, to lose money for once and say that was good because it's going to work out in the end, and not just lose it because I'm a fucking idiot.
Totally. Man, I've lost so much money over the years, like of just doing totally dumb stuff. Every time I've done something stupid and lost a bunch of money, it's just because I didn't plan. Like that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't plan, and also I didn't seek counsel. I just went and did something. It was like, fuck it, I'll just spend that 30 grand. Why not?
Oh, mate, it's the peak epitome of she'll be right.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be fine.
Anyway, I think that's a wrap.
Let's wrap it up. Good sesh.